adjust your back pillow, hit your recliner. Here we go. Number one, I like Terry Taylor. I think Terry Taylor was an excellent worker. And I have to be honest, I wish I knew why they made him the Red Rooster. Obviously, somebody was hot at him. He had heat with somebody. But I thought he was a lot better than that gimmick, and I thought he was a really good wrestler. The only thing I know about Bruce Pritchard is, he was Brother Love, and he came out with Taker when I worked with him the very first time. I know he was in the back. I didn't have a relationship with Bruce. However, I do have a 38-year relationship with Paul Roma. We went to the same wrestling school. No one liked Paul Roma. Very few. He had the best body in wrestling. Bar none. Nobody can touch him. He is the greatest athlete I've ever seen in my life. It took me 10 months to get through wrestling school. It took Paul Roma 6 weeks. 6 weeks, and he was on TV. Paul Roma would be in the gym in the wrestling school, and there would be a front desk that was about 4.5 foot high, and he would stand in front of it, leap, and stand on it. Well, you know what? I wish you had a name to your handle, because I really, you know what I mean? I just read your comment. Let me reverse that for you. All right, let me reverse that. Paul Roma thought he was a bigger star than he was. That's Bruce's comment, because Paul Roma should have been a bigger star than he was, because he had the tools to become a bigger star than he was. And he had the ability, and he had everything. He had all the tools to be a superstar. You guys have to remember something. Kurt Hennig got his gimmick of Mr. Perfect. He came into the dressing room and walked up to Paul Roma and said, "This is you, not me. You're the one that should have this gimmick, not me." He said it to Roma's face. Paul Roma had such control of his body. He knew what to put in his body to make himself vascular. He pull over to the side of the road and open up a can of tuna and pour some applesauce in it and eat it. This guy sacrificed everything to look the way he did, in the dirty looks that he would get. You know what I mean? I met Roma, I was 18, and he was 26. And he tried to help me. He still tries to help me. He tried to help me all he could. You know what I mean? And I finally got so frustrated, and I said, "Roma, sorry I didn't start lifting weights when I was 11. I'm 18 years old. I'm sorry I look like the Michelin Man." You know, he'd go, "Jesus, man, the least you can do is get a tan." You know, the comments on YouTube is, who could forget Mario Mancini with that 80s porn stash and that pasty white skin? He goes, "At least you can do is get a tan," you know? He would try to help me all he could, you know what I mean?
Tanning is not that easy, though. I can confirm that if you don't have the skin for it.
Yeah, I mean, he sacrificed so much, and he worked hard in the gym. And listen, I love Jake. Jake and I get along really well. I love Jake. But when Roma first walked in the dressing room, Jake was giving him a look. He goes, "Why is that guy looking at me?" I go, "Because he doesn't look like you." you're going to get a lot of heat in here because you're built like a brick shit house. I go, okay, there's Paul Orndorff. All right, there's Paul Orndorff, and you know, eventually the Warrior came in. You know, there's the Warlord. There was Hercules Hernandez, but Roma was symmetrical. You know what I mean? Roma was like, you know, he left bodybuilding to come into professional, or he wanted to be a professional bodybuilder. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell everybody something that you definitely don't know. You don't know this. And it's a tremendous story. Paul got out of bodybuilding. He wanted to be a professional athlete. And he wanted to set example for kids. And he wanted to help kids. And he wanted kids to look up to him. Because, you know, he donated so much of his time and efforts to St. Jude's. And he and Ray Hercules would go to hospitals and see kids. And Roma was really into, like, trying to help kids. So he gets out of bodybuilding because he didn't like the politics of it. So he goes and listen. Let me tell you guys a secret about power and glory. Power to Ray, glory to Roma. Power to Ray, the strong man, and glory to the cocky narcissist Roma. No. Roma made up that tag team. And Ray said, why? And he said, power and glory to God. Nobody knows that's why they were called Power and Glory, because that was their tribute to the Lord, to his power and glory. Nobody knows that, right? Okay, now you do.
Interesting.
Okay, so